Hello and welcome to Trending Daily. This is Makhdoom Shahabuddin. Ladies and gentlemen, in international politics, there are moments that redefine how a country is seen, not through war or conflict, but through dialogue. Today, Islamabad finds itself in such a moment. Pakistan is being discussed as a possible host for renewed US-Iran engagement, often referred to as Islamabad Talks 2.0. And Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has expressed cautions but clear optimism that such discussions could take place soon. This is not just about one meeting. It is about whether Pakistan can position itself as a serious bridge in global diplomacy. To understand why this matters, we need to look at the broader picture. For decades, relations between the United States and Iran have remained deeply strained. Sanctions, nuclear concerns, regional conflicts, and political mistrust have created a long-standing deadlock. Direct communication has often broken down, which is why indirect diplomatic channels and third-party facilitators have become increasingly important. This is where neutral ground becomes critical. Pakistan occupies a unique geopolitical position. It shares historical ties and strategic relations with both Western powers and regional neighbors. It has maintained communication channels with Tehran while also working closely with Washington on security and regional issues. This dual connectivity is rare, and it is one reason Islamabad is being viewed as a potential meeting point. The term Islamabad Talks 2.0 refers to a possible continuation or second round of indirect dialogue between US and Iranian representatives. Earlier engagement efforts, reportedly hosted in Islamabad, created initial contact points. While those discussions did not produce a breakthrough, they were still considered important because they restarted communication after years and decades of silence. Diplomats often emphasize that even failed talks are not wasted. They create structure for future negotiation. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has projected confidence in Pakistan's diplomatic role. He has highlighted that Pakistan supports peaceful resolution of conflicts through dialogue rather than confrontation. According to official statements and diplomatic briefings, Islamabad remains willing to facilitate further rounds if both sides agree. This is not about Pakistan acting as a power broker, it is about Pakistan acting as a facilitator. A second round of talks would indicate continuity. In diplomacy, continuity is often more important than the immediate results. It signals that both sides are still willing to sit in the same framework even if disagreements remain. Islamabad Talks 2.0 would therefore represent progress in process, not necessarily in outcome. The Middle East remains one of the most sensitive geopolitical regions in the world. Conflicts in Gaza, Syria, Yemen, and ongoing tensions around maritime security all contribute to a fragile environment. Any US-Iran communication has indirect effects on energy markets, regional alliances, and global security calculations. This is why even small diplomatic openings receive global attention. Islamabad offers several practical advantages for hosting sensitive dialogue. It is geographically accessible for regional stakeholders. It maintains diplomatic relations with both sides, and it has experience hosting international delegations and security-sensitive meetings. And it is often seen as a less politically charged environment compared to other regional capitals. These factors make it suitable for quiet diplomacy. Global diplomatic circles are watching cautiously. Some analysts believe Pakistan could play a constructive role in reducing communication barriers. Others argue that real breakthroughs depend more on Washington and Tehran than on the host location. Still, most agree that having a neutral facilitator increases the chances of sustained dialogue. If dialogue between US and Iran improves even slightly, global markets tend to react quickly. Energy prices, shipping routes, and investor confidence are all sensitive to Middle Eastern stability. For Pakistan, successful facilitation could also improve its international diplomatic profile and attract positive economic attention. Despite optimism, the challenges are significant. There is long-standing mistrust between both sides. Domestic political pressures in Washington and Tehran often limit flexibility. Regional conflicts continue to complicate negotiations, and any diplomatic process of this scale requires sustained commitment over time. Pakistan, as a facilitator, cannot control outcomes. It can only provide space for dialogue. Despite all these challenges, diplomacy rarely begins with certainty. It begins with possibility. The fact that Islamabad is being discussed again as a venue reflects that communication channels are not fully closed. That alone is considered progress in diplomatic terms. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif's optimism reflects this belief that engagement is still better than isolation. Beyond policy, there is symbolism. A second round of talks would signal persistence. It would show that early efforts were not abandoned, and it would reinforce the idea that dialogue can survive setbacks. In global diplomacy, symbolism often shapes momentum. Whether or not Islamabad ultimately hosts US-Iran talks 2.0, Pakistan's role in this conversation already carries significance. It reflects a country positioning itself not just within regional politics, but within the architecture of global dialogue. And in a world often defined by division, even the possibility of a conversation can become a powerful story. This was Trending Daily. I'm Makhdoom Shahabuddin. See you in the next episode.